I'm Jonas Vingegaard, and welcome to the Cycling Dane.
For the past few years, Jonas Vingegaard has been one of the most dominant climbers in the world, with countless one-week stage race victories, 2 Tour de France titles to his name, and many more titles that has made him seem nearly invincible when it comes to the climbs. However, recent results suggest that the Danish champion may no longer have the same stranglehold on the peloton, and his performances early in 2025 have raised concerns about his form, his confidence, and whether he can continue to compete against Tadej Pogačar. So, should we be worried about his form and potential decline, or is this just a temporary setback? Before we start the video, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and why not check out our old interview with Jonas Vingegaard as well. Vingegaard has been a very dominant force in the sport in recent years, and we have seen him go to new heights with his team of Visma Bike. 2024 was where it kind of began, where he had a very horrifying crash during the 2024 Tour of the Basque Country after having very impressive victories in O Gran Camino and in Tirreno Adriatico. The incident left him with multiple injuries, including fractures and deep bruising, derailing his preparation for the Tour de France, and many people fearing that he may never ride a bike again. Many wondered if he would even make it back in time for the Tour de France as well. Vingegaard, defining expectations, as we know, returned to the Tour de France and produced one of the most stunning comeback performances we've seen in the sport, to not only take a stage win but also finish second overall. His ability to recover and compete at the highest level was nothing short of miraculous. That effort seemingly took a lot out of him as well. He did manage to win the Tour of Poland, but didn't have enough in him to also go to the Vuelta a España and try and win that Grand Tour that is still missing from his palmares. But given his absolute remarkable comeback, that was very understandable. So fans were very excited at the start of the 2025 season to see Jonas Vingegaard return at the Vuelta al Garve, and at the first uphill challenge up to the Alto de Foya, it seemed like Vingegaard was in pole position, but a small group darted off the front, and it seemed like the victory was going away from the GC riders, and Vingegaard reluctant to chase it down. Nevertheless, Almeida dropped the Dane and managed to gain seconds on him, and that meant that Vingegaard was suddenly looking a bit vulnerable on the uphill. To his credit though, Vingegaard did show that he still had it, as he did an emphatic performance on the time trial, putting 30 seconds into Almeida to win the overall and add his first GC victory to his 2025 palmares. Nevertheless, the next race was Paris-Nice, and this is of course a race he had a bit of history with. In 2023, he desperately wanted to try and take the victory, but ultimately finished third behind Tadej Pogačar and David Gaudu, and didn't quite manage to be where he wanted to be. The Dane, however, did have the incredible achievement that he was the first Danish rider to finish on the podium. Nevertheless, in 2025, it seemed like everything was going to plan, as Visma Bike managed to win the team time trial that propelled him and his teammate into the top positions, with Vingegaard being very close to the leader's jersey. And on stage 4, they came into the first uphill test. It seemed like everything was going to schedule, as Vingegaard attacked off the front, and it looked like nobody was going to be able to catch the Dane like we are so used to. However, João Almeida of UAE Team Emirates was determined not to let him go, started to drag back the Dane, and in the last few hundred meters of the stage, it seemed like the impossible became probable, and that meant that Almeida had enough to get around Vingegaard, took the stage win, and Jonas Vingegaard, in his new custom helmet, dropped his head, and that was maybe the first crack we've seen of Vingegaard in a while in a World Tour stage race. The next day, it seemed like potentially Vingegaard could bounce back. He had the leader's jersey after all, and it was a very steep incline that could potentially be favoring him. During the stage, for whatever reason, Vingegaard was not where leaders normally are at the front of the peloton. He was more towards the back, and that was very peculiar to say the least. Then when we came up to the climb, it was very evident Vingegaard was not in a good place and was rapidly getting distanced by the other riders, and was was not there in the finale and unfortunately didn't manage to compete on the stage, finishing 16th overall and dropping down in the GC to his teammate, losing 26 seconds as well, which was not something we're used to seeing on such a short climb. After the stage, it emerged that Jonas Vingegaard had in fact crashed during the stage with 84 kilometers to go, and he was complaining about pain in his hand, thinking he might have broken it. And subsequently, the following day, the team decided to pull him out of Paris-Nice, indicating that that injury was probably something worse than expected. But it certainly is worrying signs for many Jonas Vingegaard fans to see the supremely strong Dane suffering here early on. When we compare it to previous seasons, in 2022 when he did win the Tour de France, he started the year off very strong by winning the Drôme Classic in France, finishing second in Tirreno Adriatico to Tadej Pogačar, and in the Tour of Basque Country in the springtime as well, he finished 6th. Then in 2023, he won Au Grand Camino, went on to finish 3rd in Paris-Nice and won the Tour of the Basque Country. And in 2024, Au Grand Camino victory, as we said, and a very dominant performance in Tirreno Adriatico before that very bad crash. But Jonas Vingegaard is certainly not someone who doesn't start fast out of the block, so this is a bit of a worrying sign to see him struggling in Paris-Nice. Maybe he can recover, and his next big test before the Criterium de Dauphiné is the Vuelta a Catalunya, another stage race he would also like to win. So maybe we can see a bit of a different Jonas Vingegaard there, and this could potentially be just a bit of a hiccup. And the reason why many cycling fans will be worried about this is that losing out to the likes of Joao Almeida is not a good sign, as Joao Almeida will be working for Tadej Pogačar in the Tour de France. So if you can't beat Joao Almeida, logic would say you can't beat Tadej Pogačar, and Tadej Pogačar has of course had an absolutely incredible start to the season, winning the UAE Tour in even emphatic fashion, then going to Strade Bianche where he crashed but still won the race with a comfortable margin. So Visma Lease Bike do face a major dilemma. Their previous strategy revolving around supporting Vingegaard as the undisputed leader could potentially be a bit shaky if this is the form. We have got many months until the Tour de France, so let's not kid ourselves that he can't turn it around. But it is a bit worrying with Tadej Pogačar being phenomenal, UAE Team Emirates having such abundance of climbers with the likes of Tadej Pogačar in form, the Joao Almeida, Juan Ayuso and Adam Yates. So it's definitely going to be a big mountain for Visma Lease Bike to climb. The next few months will be crucial for Vingegaard's season. If he can regain his best form by the time the Tour de France begins, all of these early season struggles will be forgotten. However, if his struggles persist, it could be the beginning of, I don't want to say it, a potential decline that sees him slipping from the top stage racer in the world to just another contender. It's certainly too early to write Jonas Vingegaard off completely. He has proven time and time again that he can rise to the occasion, but the signs of vulnerability are real. His fans, myself included, will be hoping that his early season struggles are merely a temporary setback and not an indication of a significant decline. But anyways, with that, that's basically it for this video. Make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and why not check out our video, the rise of Jonas Vingegaard, or even the potential decline of Wout van Aert. But for now, that's basically it. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.